I'm picking Valentine, cause on the morning line, the guy's got him bigger than 5 to 9. But make it epitaph, he wins it by a half. According to this here in the Telegraph.
For a beer I'll bite, I hear his foot's all right. Of course it all depends if he read last night.
Hello racing fans, and welcome to another edition of Handicappers Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads, and along with Drew Forster, we're going to go through the Saturday, July the 13th races at Hastings Racecourse. We do have 7 races on tap. Yeah. First race to go at 150. We'll kick off the Saturday program.
Expected to be a nice weekend out there. As we mentioned in our last show, they did a good job getting all 3 days to go this weekend. Some really good races on tap today, some tough races. There's a few I had a little bit of problems with. Let's get right into it. First off, we have 3-year-olds and up for 4,000, non-winners of 2 lifetime. And I've gone to the 6 Take a Back Road out of the Greg Tracy barn. Horse that only ran here once this year. That was for 15,000. He didn't show much that day, but he drops right down to the $4,000 level. Gets Greg Tracy's main rider and Fernando Perez aboard. I like Take a Back Road. In the second spot, I put Final Flare out of the Barb Heads barn. Didn't show much in his first start. Improved into his second start. I like the way he's going. I think the third start in his form cycle could be a good one. Scott Williams picks up the mount. I have him in second. And in the third spot, Nelly's Trick, a horse just ran second ahead of Final Flare last time. But he'll be making his 5th start, so I think Final Flare can turn the tables on him. But I got 6, 4, and 3 in the opener.
I got the same 3 horses, Drew. I just got them switched around a little bit. I've gone to Final Flare, the 4 horse to win it. Ran first time out going along, which is always a tough assignment off a year, but he was, I guess, training so well without the blinkers that gave him a shot without them, but obviously ran around there with no purpose. Put the blinkers on him last time and he ran a lot better, and I think he'll move forward. Yeah. This is almost like his second start, because his first start you can just throw it out. And so I think you'll see a better Final Flare. There's a lot of speed in here. I think you'll see WW Wanderer leave. I think you'll see Nelly's Trick, Wild Dragon, and Take a Back Road. I just think Final Flare will get a good trip. It's pretty soft, non-2-4. So I'm going to go to Final Flare to win it, put Nelly's Trick for second, and the 6 Take a Back Road, the 3-year-old, running against older horses, though, in for third. On to the second race. We've got some 17.5 older horses, 3 and up. Go 6.5 furlongs, non-2 lifetime, non-3 BC bred. I've gone to the 5 in here. Title Nobility gets back to his winning distance. He won off the layoff in 16 and change, and defeating Where's Henry and Dash Smartly. Then tried him long, and it was kind of a greasy track. It was a sealed, kind of it wasn't slop, but it was a drying out track, and he didn't care for it. He's a big lumbering,
and they went very slow up front too.
Yeah, and he lost position in spots, and just didn't run his race. He's back in at a better distance and probably on a fast track as well. So there's going to be speed in here. It looks like the 1, the 2, Red Rose, and even Casino Boss on the outside. But I think Title Nobility gets a great trip. I put Casino Boss in for second. I'm going to give this horse a big chance. Been freshened up after a disappointing run against Major Dundee. But this is a lot easier test for Casino Boss. He ran some good races in Phoenix. I actually watched him live running down there. He's a pretty cool little colt, and I think he'll show a lot more. He could be the controlling. See, he might clear in here, and that will be a big key to his success. But Casino Boss gets big high marks for me. And I put the 2 SR Rocket Man, who won this condition last time, still eligible, and sat in behind the speed, snuck up the inside. Perfect ride by Amadeo Perez. So I put him in for third. But I think this race has come up tougher than that SR Rocket Man race did with Title Nobility and Casino Boss in here. I went 5-7-2.
I see this is a very wide open race. You can make a case for almost every horse in here.
There's no there's no standout in here.
No, I went to the one, What a Sense of Humor. Pat Jarvis got the horse from Dino Condolinos. He was one that came in one of their packages. He's cut out to be a nicer horse. He's a distorted humor out of an AP Indy mare. She ran him first out for maiden 5. He absolutely destroyed the field. Came back and ran a good race in this race last time. Just got beat a neck for it all. I really like the rider upgrade from young rider Keyshawn Balgobin to Aaron Grider. I think that makes a big difference with him. That could put him over the top. The second spot, I put SR Rocket Man out of the Lenore Dubois barn. Another one, as Mike mentioned, got a great trip last time and won this race. He's definitely in the thick of it. And Title Nobility, for the reasons that Mike mentioned, in third. I got 1-2-5. Deputy's Command just got beat a neck in the same race last time. Red Rose is dropping in for a tag for the first time. Simon Templar only got beat 3/4 of a length last time.
These are all well-matched
Casino
horses.
Boss.
They're.
It's a race you're going to want to go deep in. You can make a case for every horse in here.
Get some value.
I went with 1-2-5. On the third, 3-year-old filly allowance race. Nice little race here. Very interesting. Allowance race for 3-year-old fillies. I have gone to the outside, the newcomer Super Divine out of the Dave Forster barn. They purchased her out of Kentucky off Larry Jones. Won first asking at the fairgrounds in a straight maiden race. Then into allowance race at Keeneland, and you know those are extremely tough races. And then the last race, I watched the last race at Churchill, and she got in a lot of trouble. It was in trouble.
Away from the gate.
Yeah, it was in a lot of trouble, so I'm going to kind of throw that one out. This is obviously a little shallower end of the pond than she's used to be running in. Aaron Greider takes the call. I like Super Divine on top. The second spot, I got Lady Henrietta, who's done little wrong this year. She's always right there. Oh, she's solid little filly. Been running against the best fillies on the track and always seems to be right there. Just got beat 2 lengths in the last stake going long. Comes back into a little bit softer spot. And the third spot I put Touching Promise off for maiden score. Very well meant last time maiden score. Went in 16-4. Nice move by her. Very professional run out of Touching Promise. I've heard in the third spot. I got 7, 1, and 3.
I got the same 3. I went to Lady Henrietta on top, though. I've just got them switched around a little. What a cool run. She took the tough filly, the top 3-year-old filly, I think so.
I think so, yeah.
By the head. They went head and head on the head end in the Supernatural. She ended up beating that and cost her, but I mean, she ended up running third. The only negative with her, I did pick her on top, is that she's coming back in 11 days off an exhausting, what would think it was an exhausting effort. So she is a definite bounce candidate. So it's, I think her talent is good enough to win here, but will she be able to fire 2 great races in 11 days? That'll be the question. I put the 3 Touching Promise in for second. She earned a pretty big buyer for her maiden score. She was blinkers off for the first time, and that was a key equipment change for her. She relaxed way better. She finished so strong. She was sprinting. That's 16-4. They were, I think her half, probably herself, was like 46-4 or something, or 46-3, and she sprinted home to the last 5/16ths very quickly, and she looks like a filly with a promising future, and I think the blinker change might be. She's coming into I think another good race. She had a big couple of months in between races, or a month and a half in between races too. So I think she's live. And I put Super Divine. You're right. She's got the class of the field. I mean, she's coming from the tough racetracks. She's been running in races, but she'll make her first start in Vancouver. Looks like she's got over the track nicely in a minute flat. So
yeah, that was a nice
we'll
work.
see how she fares, but she certainly fits here as well. Left Bamboo Dream and I Want to Dust her stakes horses off the ticket, and it's a good little race. It is 6.5 though, not maybe Bamboo Dream and I Want to Dust her's best distances. So I've gone 1, 3, and 7. On to the fourth race, maiden 5 granders. Colts and Geldings here going 6.5. Kick off the pick 4 here. I'm going to go to the outside of the 8, Keno Magic. I'm going to take a shot on it. I just didn't want some of these other horses that are likely favorites, like a Devil's Cause, Castrati, Final Miracle, maybe Storm and Candy. I just didn't want those horses. They're all speed types. They've had good trips, and they're just not. Keno Magic is slowly, and it's taken 3 races, but this horse is kind of getting it together.
To put it together,
And this horse really rolled down the lane and was galloping it past horses at the wire. And I'm just hoping that perhaps with another race experience, that this guy will do well. He's certainly going to get a favorable pace scenario. So I'm going to try him to win it because he will have value with Amadeo Perez aboard. The 3-horse Castrati is a logical horse to play here. Had a good trip, had no excuse. Kai's Command outran him, but still just ran a good, solid second, and will likely get overbet because he ran second. And the 1 horse, the Devil's Cause, similar to Castrati's, had a good trip last time and ran third, and just that's what the horse is, a 1:19 and change horse. If that's what the final time is, he'll win. But I just think it might be a little bit quicker now. I went 8, 3, and 1. Not a race I fell in love with, but also one quickie touch on is the 5 first-timer, no-time groom for Craig McPherson. You might want to look at that one as well. Good works, good connections, and it's not a tough race. I mean, you got to probably go deep in this one. But I did go 8, 3, and 1.
I went to your favorite, probably Castrati, a horse that's been improving. Just got beat a length last time by Kai's Command, so I put him on top. Devil's Cause comes out of that same race. He ran third in that race, just was a length and a half back. Only got beat a half length by Castrati, so I got him in for second. And I put Storm and Candy, more because of the connections, the Troy Taylor, Aaron Greider connections. A horse has obviously had some problems, but starting maybe to put it together, going the right way. And he might be coming into his own, and he's starting to figure it out a little bit. He's a well-bred son of Candy Ride. They paid a decent price for, so I'm not going to leave him totally off the ticket. I went 3, 1, and 7. On to the 5th, 3-year-olds and up, claiming 5,000 non-winners of 2 on the year, and I've gone to the outside Cool old horse. Mike usually picks Monster in the Closet. 49 starts, 10 wins, 9 seconds, 8 thirds. He likes to get a piece of it. He's always he's an honest guy. He always runs his race. Amadeo Perez knows him well. I put Monster in the Closet on top. I put Bosco's Quick, who won his first one of the year. It was going 3.5, but it was a pretty impressive move. He sat behind horses, made a nice run down the lane. I'm not even sure that 3.5 is his best distance. I think he is more of a 6.5 horse. Teddy Hertzbarn has been going very well this year, so I'll put him in for second. And the third spot, I went to the 1 Canucks Roar. One who figures in here, ran for 7,500 last time in that Passion Red Arkhill race.
Yep.
He ran third. He figures to be in the picture here. I got 9, 8, and 1 in the fifth.
Yeah, I've gone to that horse, the 1 Canucks Roar. I just think this horse will get a favorable trip. Class drop in 7,500. The horse I thought performed admirably behind Passion Red and Arkhill, and this is a way easier assignment getting against these non-2s for 5. I'm going to try Canucks Roar. This horse does have some flexibility or versatility in its running style. Doesn't need the lead, but if he can get it, he's going to be dangerous. If he has to sit back, he can make a run and tip out 3 wide at the far turn and maybe win it. So I think Richard Hamill has some nice options with Canucks Roar, and I just think the horse is in a very good spot. But the 4 Minstrel's Time, I've always kind of had a soft spot for this horse. I know he's just been winning conditional races, but still good time. This horse, the opening quarter was very slow, kind of took him out of his running style being on the lead, and but he still sprinted home nicely and won over next out winner Eustonia. And the third spot, I put the 6 Ice Rules. They tried him a mile on the 16th. He didn't care for that at all. He's back in sprinting. I think the sprint route to sprint angle is really good with him. He's back in where he's solid. He ran a good second as Notice Sal 2 starts back. This is his distance. He might get a bit of a pace in here. And Scott Williams knows him well. He's back aboard. He was actually the winning rider back there on opening day. So I got to go 1, 4, and 6. I did leave my Monster in the Closet off the ticket, but
Could come back to haunt you.
yeah, it could. But, Speed usually does do well though on the weekends.
Yeah.
I went 1, 4, and 6. On to the 6th race. 25,000 fillies and mares here, going 6.5.
Nice race. Good race here.
Really good. Got 9 mares signed on to run it. Cool race. I'm going to go to the 4, Cry, Cry, Cry. She's just a top-notch mare. That's she's our top high-claiming mare right now. That's basically she has good positional speed. She's going to be in a nice spot, and it's hard to beat a horse that won't get a bad trip. Yeah. And sometimes like a Monster in the Closet we're talking about in the last race, that horse may get a bad trip because he comes from last. Yeah. But this horse
get stopped
has tactical speed. Is going to drag Richard into a good spot, either on the lead or sitting just off of a horse. And this horse has been running at 16. I mean, it's going to be tough for anyone to beat her today. So I'm going to go to the 4, Cry, Cry, Cry. The 3, PS Touchdown on the class drop, getting into those tough allowance races and stakes races. I'm going to give her a big shot. Robert Skelly's got a lot of running to her in the past and showing form, but he was aboard last time against Turlani and Go Sail Go. Go Sail Go came back to win the stake race in Seattle last weekend. Congratulations to the Foundation Stables for that. And Robbie Anderson and Debbie Hoonan, who was aboard Go Sail Go, who beat the older mares. That was nice to see a BC horse win the feature down in Seattle last week. But PS Touchdown gets some class relief. And I put the 7 horse, Forbidden City, a newcomer. I didn't know what to do. It has speed, and that's a good thing. Dave Milburn and Don Muldoon have done very well in the past, claiming horses, speed horses out of Northern California and bringing them up here. So I'm going to give Forbidden City a good long look as well. That could be the danger to Cry, Cry, Cry. But I went 4, 3, and 7.
I have the same horses. I got Cry, Cry, Cry on top. For the reasons you mentioned, she's the boss in there. She's the one they have to topple. I put Forbidden City in second. She's got a pretty nice form on her. 9 starts.
I can see her winning.
4 wins, a second, a third.
She's not without it. Big chance.
Aaron Grider for Dave Milburn. I like. She's been running in Northern California. Generally tougher races than this. Ran for 20,000 last time on the turf and only got beat a length and 3/4. And I don't really think she's a turf horse. And I put PS Touchdown, as you mentioned. Nice class relief for her. Only beat 3/4 of a length by Trelani and Go Sail Go. Either one of those are in here. They're a heavy favorite. So I got 4, 7, and 3. Same horses, just swapped the bottom 2.
Juggle the balls around.
That's right. Juggle the old Keno balls around. On to the nightcap, 3-year-olds and up, maiden 5,000, and I've gone to the 4, 1440 out of the Pat Jarvis barn. Unlucky last time, just got beat a nose by the dropping Tally Stick out of the Dino Condolinos barn. Tally Stick was the heavy favorite that day, and 1440 had a nice trip, just got unlucky to get beat by him. I think there's no Tally Sticks in here, so he's the horse to beat. In the second spot, I put the 9, Mr. Mansky, out of the Rob Van Overshot barn. Showed speed last time under Amadeo Perez. It was his first start. I could see him moving forward with a start start under his belt, and maybe being able to carry that speed a little bit further. And the third spot, I put Pumpkin Moonshine, one out of the William Levanaway barn, who's been off a while. Ran into a very tough Where's Henry last time. Where's Henry won by 10, 9 3/4.
A mile.
By a mile, pretty much, by a pole. And Pumpkin Moonshine has been knocking on the door, so he's got a little break now. Comes back under Antonio Reyes. I got 4, 9, and 2.
Yeah, I like the same top two. I like the 4, 1440. Battled the whole way up
Yeah,
the
he's
head
a tough-
end. This horse ran game and
Yeah.
was very unlucky to lose to Tally Stick. It was a horse, as you mentioned, out of the Derby package that Dino Condolius of Swift Thoroughbreds purchased. And this horse is fighting on. Actually, his last 2 races, he's just fought hard, and
Yeah.
he's a cool horse. He'll get his just due and get his picture taken very soon, and hopefully for Randy and Morris Milne and Lillian Jarvis, the owners, it's today.
It's Saturday.
I think 1440 is pretty live. I put the 9, Mr. Mansky, as you mentioned, first time out, thought a good effort, ran out of gas. But,
Which happens a lot of time your first start, yeah.
But has the race under his belt, and this 4-year-old could be, Amadeo sticks with him, could be very live. And I put the 1 horse, Sparkly Bay. I think this year off the pace horse. Did have a run up in Princeton, ran second.
I don't think he really liked the track that day. I know Robert Skelly, Jim Brown both told me he was just kind of
spinning his
his
wheel,
wheels
didn't
through
care
it,
for
yeah.
it. But he's been on the board against his caliber at Hastings,
Yeah.
so I put him in for third. But I went 4, 9, and 1. Well, that'll do it for our analysis of the Saturday program. Next up on screen will be a quick look at our recap of our picks. Back in race number 1. Here are my picks. The 4, Final Flair, 4, 3, and 6. In race number 2, I went to the 5 horse, Title Nobility, over the 7 and 2. Race number 3, number 1, Lady Henrietta, over the 3, Touching Promise, and the 7, Super Divine. Race number 4, the 8, Keno Magic, 8-3-1. It's my long shot play of the day, the 8, Keno Magic. In the 5th race, I like the 1, Canucks Roar, over the 4 and 6. In race number 6, the ultra consistent number 4, Cry, Cry, Cry. Her backers continue to cash. She's doing very well lately. 4-3-7 for me in the 6th. In the 7th race, I went to the 4, 1440, 4, 9, and 1.
And on to my picks. In the first, I went to number 6, Take a Back Road, over the 4 and the 3. In the second, I went to the rail horse, number 1, What a Sense of Humor, over the 2 and the 5. In the third race, I went to the newcomer, number 7, Super Divine, over the 1 and the 3. In the fourth, I went to the 3, Castrati, over the 1 and the 7. In the fifth, I went to the outside horse, number 9, Monster in the Closet, over the 8 and the 1. In the sixth, I agree with Mike on the always tough number 4, Cry, 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 over the 7 and the 3. And in the nightcap again, I agree with Mike on number 4, 1440, over the 9 and the 2.
Well, that concludes this edition of Handicappers Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. Hopefully, we've given you some insight and some...
Better give one more plug, too, to the New Stride.
New Stride fundraiser, Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday at 1:30 at Hastings in the Marquee Tent. Tickets are available. Just show up at the Marquee Tent.
You can get tickets
all
there.
proceeds, 100% of the proceeds go to New Stride. It is for retired racehorses. After the racing career is over, their second life begins. And New Stride does find these horses new adoptees, and they end up being riding horses, jumping horses. So a great cause for our hard-trying horses that just can't do it anymore or just not fast enough.
Yeah.
But this is a great society, New Stride, and please do attend. Great silent auction.
Yeah.
As we mentioned before, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, NHLer, will be in attendance to meet people, and it should be a great afternoon.
Yeah.
So that's on Sunday.
1:30?
1:30 Sunday. And so do come on out to...
Which is at the far end of the grandstand.
The West End. Go to the west, near the starting gate, going 6.5 furlong. A beautiful tent there. You can watch the race, watch the Wiener Dog races. There's lots going on on Saturday and Sunday, but the Sunday is the Winner's Circle Day, the big New Stride fundraiser. So on behalf of Drew, thanks to everyone for tuning in to Handicappers Corner, and we'll see you next time.
I got the horse. Ride.